Hello again, and welcome to another short strategy slash gameplay video. No Man's Sky. This is going to be a quick little run through of the startup, the first few minutes of the game, to show that you actually can get through this game. It doesn't really have to be frustrating. I just got through doing 4 walkthroughs or 4 run-throughs of it. 2 on a cold planet, 2 on a hot planet. The longest time it took me was 24 minutes. The shortest was 8. This one turns out to be about 13. And I'll show you that at the end. Now this video is unedited, uncut. No parts of it have been reduced or anything like that. I've got no mods established or installed. Just this plain game, vanilla game. And as you can see, I have came to, woke up, initialized, whatever, on a cold planet. You can see plenty of carbon around, plenty of iron around. So once the little intro gets over, we'll get going.
Multi-tool and mining laser attachment operational.
Need a fire extinguisher, looks like.
Initialization sequence complete.
There are 2 main ways you can approach this. Stay around the area back and forth, going back and forth to the ship. Or it all depends on where your Heridium is. That's what I've found to be the key. First, you know, I always get the wreckage there and get the main storyline started. That way, it doesn't matter which scenario I use. If I stay here and come back to the ship to get it off the ground, or I'm off at a distance and call the ship to me. Either way, I've already got that little bit of the storyline out of the way, and it's not going to interfere later on in the game. If we decide to take this this playthrough and continue with it, which I'm probably not going to do, so I really wouldn't have needed to have done that. But anyway, so you see I got my carbon, I got my first part of the multi-tool fixed already. Now I'm picking up some iron, and we'll get the other part of the multi-tool. I've found that I always tend to do better if I fix the multi-tool than if I do not. I mean, I played through a couple times. I thought, well, shoot, if I don't worry about fixing those, it'll be that much more time to spend fixing the ship. But it ended up spending that little extra time there helped me out. Now, the other thing you don't have to do is scan the animals. I probably could have cut another minute off of this run if I hadn't scanned any animals. Good reason to scan the animals. Well, there's 2 actually. You know if they're friendly, and also you make a few units doing that, and you're going to need units in the later in the game. But there are several things I do not do. I'm not doing in this video that I normally would do if I was playing the game just to play the a normal start to finish game. I'll outline those on the way. Now, right now, I've got my multi-tool fixed, and I'm looking for that blue pillar of Heridium, and I'm not seeing it anywhere. So, if you don't see it, several things you can do. You can go to high ground and have a look around. You can actually build a signal booster and scan for it. Or you can do what I'm doing right here. I'm grabbing the photo mode and using it to levitate and look around the landscape, and lo and behold, there it is. It's not that far away, and so that's the direction we need to go. And you saw I was looking at where it was at in reference to the crash, so that I knew which direction to go for sure. So we'll head that direction. We'll grab some iron and carbon and whatnot on the way, hopefully run into some plutonium and zinc. And you need that carbon, because that's what it's what you should use to fuel your multi-tool. And there's some plutonium. Plutonium you can use for the multi-tool, but you probably are better off saving it for the ship. You can't power your ship thrusters with anything but plutonium. Okay, got a hold of those guys there. Scan them. They are friendly. So far, everything's been friendly. Oh, some more plutonium there. I probably should have went on the other side of that road, that ravine there.
Thermal protection 40.
But we'll go on down here and see anyway. Quite a little bit of plutonium around, so that doesn't appear to be a problem. I've not seen any zinc yet. I haven't scanned for it either. I should have probably scanned for it. Because a lot of times you can scan for it, take a little side jaunt on your way to the Heridium. Okay, there's my Heridium. We'll go on down. Actually, I don't even think that's the same Heridium that I saw from the camera mode. I think that's a different one. It might be the same one. I don't know. Anyway, it's Heridium. That's where we're going. And you'll notice I do sprint. Anytime you see the two little arrows on my life support bar, the white bar below left, that means I'm sprinting. A lot of people say not to, but I find it's more economical to sprint than it is to have to wait for your, find shelter and wait for your whichever biohazard you have running to recharge. So I made a shelter. I picked up a little Heridium. I made a shelter, and so now my thermal protection can recharge while I gather some Heridium. And here I'm doing a little inventory control, putting some of the stuff in the ship, so I've got plenty of empty slots. See, I picked up some Grantine there. I don't know. That's the first time I've got it this early in the game, and it's not going to do me any good for anything except to sell, because you don't have a recipe to use it, so it's kind of a worthless acquisition at this point. So I'm only going to pick up enough Heridium to fix the ship. I'm not going to worry about something I would do in a normal game. I would pick up enough Heridium to fix the ship about 3 times. Unless for some reason I couldn't carry it. It takes you a while to find this Heridium in this early game, and you might as well take enough with you so that you have it for the upgrades and things that you need later in the game, because you do need Heridium later in the game to install some of the tech on your ship. You need, I think you need like 200 or 300 for the hyperdrive when you find it. And also, if you find a crashed ship, if you already have your Heridium, you can swap ships out much easier if you are carrying enough of the stuff to fix it. So, the same amount of Heridium you need to fix this ship, you're going to need to fix the other ship. So that's just kind of being prepared. And that's sort of kind of what this game plays much easier if you think ahead and prepare. You don't just rush through like I'm doing here. When these sentinels come around, just stand still. Don't shoot anything at that point. They'll go away. Hopefully you stop shooting quick enough. Now, you can kill sentinels early in the game, but it's going to waste a lot of resources and time. You're going to take some damage probably, depending on your environment and where you're at that particular point. Damage might not be something you're going to survive, and if you don't get them killed off soon enough, they call reinforcements. So it's something you kind of want to avoid. Now later on in the game, when you get a better multi-tool, upgraded multi-tool, bring it on. I mean, they're kind of fun to shoot at. They give you some zinc too, by the way, so that helps. You destroy one and get a little bit of zinc, and usually if you get some nanites and or a neutrino module or something like that, some hugnium, all that stuff you can sell or store up later for upgrades.
Units received.
Okay, so those guys are friendly. So we're going to go ahead and head back toward the ship now. Like I said, I don't really have to go back to the ship. I probably should have scanned to see if there was zinc nearby. I still need zinc and I still need iron. So, and I know there's a bunch of iron by the ship, so that's kind of why I'm headed back that way. Hoping to run into some zinc that I may have missed on the way. We got some frost crystal. Cold planets are good for that. You need that later in the game. But right now it's not worth messing with. And again, I'm not planning on taking this game any farther than getting the ship off the ground. Probably take, well, I do get the ship off the ground and I make one fly to the first point of interest. So I actually could have, this is a 13 minute, I probably could have done it in 11 or 12 without doing some of the extra stuff I'm doing. So here you see I'm getting my iron. You need quite a bit of iron. You got to make a lot of, I think, 6 carite sheets, 4 and 2. And then you're going to need some iron to power the pulse engine. So you need a lot of iron. And you need the carbon to make sure that you keep your multi-tool. As you can see, I'm ticking down, not watching. And my weapon is depleted. And that's what you want to make sure you're always got your carbon ahead of time for. So I'm going to fuel that gun up, and we're off again. Should be getting close now on the amount of iron I need. We'll go over and we'll make some carite sheets. Yeah, I still need that zinc. Okay, so that's fixed, but I still need the zinc. There's the zinc. Like there was also some more either plutonium or thamium over there. I didn't catch which ones. It was a little red triangle, a little red diamond. But I'm not worried about that because I already know I have enough. If I, like I said, if I was playing this game and not trying to do a speed through, I'd hang around the area, collect everything I could collect. I'd have a bunch of iron, a bunch of iridium, a bunch of plutonium, find any zinc I could before I left, because you got to take advantage of the area that you're in while you're in it. And I've found that you really don't need to be in that big of a hurry. If you just keep your head about you. Know where to shelter, how to shelter. So this has been pretty easy. The normal mode's pretty easy. You get into survival, it's a little harder. So normally I would not take off now. I'd go ahead and do a little more resource collection and things like that. But because I'm, like I said again, because I'm trying to do this really fast, just to show it can be done. I'm going to go ahead and abbreviate the game a little bit. So at this point, I've got my ship off the ground. So I could claim that it's, well, I mean, you see it, it's fixed, it's flying. And from here it gets a lot easier because now you have portable shelter and you can go jetting around and land at places that you of interest that look interesting and that you can get some stuff. And I just lucked out in the very first place just over the hill, basically. was a drop pod. So I've got my ship off the ground fixed, and my first exosuit upgrade. Scanned a few animals. I'm gonna get a waypoint here, and you know, a few little odds and ends, excess inventory, and I'm basically done. I mean, I've set out what I wanted to do in this video, and here I'll show you the official. Come on. Yeah, I'm confused. So anyway, and you'll see normal mode there at the bottom, 13 minutes. And I could have probably made that in probably 11 or 12 if I wouldn't have done some of the extra stuff I've done. Anyway, that's this video. Good shout out to Hello Games for a nice game. And again, this is a hobby for me, both playing the game and making these videos. If you got something out of it, if you like it, please share and let other people know. Thank you.